Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and I'm back finally! Yay! No more injury, I hope. Let's see if it comes back again. It came back twice already. Anyway, I'm back. We're doing some reviews. This is the Metytoyz, or Memory Toys, or Hero Toys Panda. Panda Wanderer, I want to say. You know what? They keep sending me review samples, and I love it, because this is, not because of the review samples, by the way, one of my favorite companies out there right now. Yes, I understand questionable third-party thing. It's all new stuff, though, at least. It's not knockoffs. And they are putting out some of the best product that I've handled. It's incredible. I don't understand what's happening. Very few companies these days are putting out product that actually feels like they care about what they're making. This is one of them. Even the little Murlocs, I just reviewed those too, and you'll see there's so much going into these figures that doesn't need to happen, and that tells you the company cares about what they're making. They actually enjoy what they're doing, so I love seeing that. Like I said, though, they did send this to me, and I'm going to be honest with my review. Not everything about the figure is perfect. There's some stuff I absolutely love, some things that are definitely a problem. We're going to talk about all of it. You guys are going to have all the information you need to decide if you want to track one of these down. So, let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, so before we start the review, I do want to show you my package. Nice big artwork on the front. Some stuff there. More artwork there, very cool. And some more stuff there. No window, nothing going on to actually look at, really. But, hey, there you go. I don't know what that does. Scan at your own risk. It says Memory Toys on it, which is the old name for the company. I don't know. And this one says Medi. I don't know. Scan those if you want to. I don't know what they do, so I can't say you should. Now, I know I run the risk of saying things like, when I say things like, hey, they sent this to me and it's my favorite company, that people might think I'm biased. And you can judge for yourself based on the review. I'm going to show you everything, and you let me know if I'm biased or if I just like good product and they happen to send review samples. Because I've had plenty of companies send me review samples who asked me, well, one of them asked me, hey, don't publish that. And I said, no, I'm going to. So, you know what? I'm going to be honest. They just happen to make good stuff. All right? Okay. So, this guy's white and black, so hopefully the lighting is okay. I'm doing the best I can. He stands about 8 1/4 inches to the top of his head, not counting his hair. It's going to be about 21 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin. Big fella. A lot of soft goods on here. I don't mind it as much because it works for this guy. I'm not a soft goods fan in general, but what they did is really nice. Alright, before we start though, let's do a question of the day. We'll do 2, 1. I'm going to ask you guys, because I'm getting different viewers in every video. How do you guys feel about third-party stuff where it is an all-new thing? Yes, the licensing is somewhat questionable, but it's a whole new figure. For me, I'm way more on board with this sort of thing. Especially when the license is owned by a company that's just not using it rather than an individual or something like that. So I'm pretty okay with stuff like this. And then the other question of the day is, how do you feel about soft goods? Some of you love them, some of you hate them. Are you okay sometimes? That's how I am. I generally would rather not, but in a lot of cases I'm okay with it. This is one of them. Okay, finally, let's get into the meat and taters. Let's start with the aesthetic. On the soft goods, they are really well done. The main black part has these little cloud prints on there. Very, very nicely done. We have the white trim. And then we have this, which looks just incredible. It's shiny. It's not that my lighting is bad, it's shiny. So that looks really nicely done. Same thing down here for the feet, for the pants. Very, very clean. We have these buckles or clasps around the front. These are actually plastic. It's very, very nicely done. And even better yet, this is a separate piece, this outer layer, and it's wired all along here, all along here. We have wire at the wrists and wire at the ankles and wire at the waist. It's a really nice, really, really nice soft goods. I don't know how to word that any better. It's really well done. So in this case, I'll take it. Plus, he looks freaking cool. So yeah, very, very good. The paint job and the sculpt work is phenomenal, which is probably what everybody expects from this company at this point. Even the fur has like a very subtle dry brush going on to make it pop. Very, very, very good paint job. The toes have shading on the claws. They don't need to add that detail, but they do. They put in so much more effort than most companies. Face, pretty nicely done. Mine has a little blemish on the eyebrow, and the eyes are kind of dark. And the reason the eyes are kind of dark is he has the light up feature just like Illidan, where if you boop him, his eyes light up. Now you're not going to be able to see it on the studio lighting. They light up pretty nice in person. It's a very subtle glow though. Like it's not a flashlight shooting out of his head, so there'd be no real good way for me to show you that. I guess maybe I can hide the light. You can see it glows. It's cool. I promise you it looks really good in person. Even with the studio lights, I can see it in person. It's just hard to catch that kind of thing on camera, but you can see there, it's glowing. Boop. You just boop him with this. Now, we'll get into the accessories in a minute, but the glowing eyes and the quality of the sculpt and detail in there, it's awesome. Even without them glowing, they look really nice. Very, very, very nice attention to detail. The sculpt work, the paint work, the soft goods on this guy, which is the majority of the figure, unfortunately, because I prefer sculpt and paint, but it's still excellent. It's wonderful, and it's a nice thin material, so you can move it around very easily. Aesthetically, it's great. 9.5 out of 10. Really, really good. Okay, so if you thought that was not that impressive, like it's a good figure, but it's not that impressive, like what am I talking about? Let's go ahead and talk about the accessories. I'll start with the easy stuff. We have the normal head that comes on him in the package, and then we have the open mouth version. Both excellent looking, both have the light up eyes. We also get an alternate hairpiece for that gray-haired head. You get a black-haired head also. No yelling head for that one, just the normal one, but still light-up eyes and alternate hairpiece. So 3 heads, different combos of hair. That's pretty cool. For hands, more hands than I think any action figure has ever come with. Like, you don't need that many hands, but they gave them to you. That, I think, is another sign of extra is better than less, than not enough. That's my thing. Now, after the accessory section, we'll talk about, are accessories necessary to this degree? I don't know, but this guy sure does come with a lot. So you get the heads, you get all the hands, you get a giant pot, I guess you could call it a pot. You get a whole variety of drinking vessels and things like that that go with that. Very nicely done. You get the little bamboo cup, which I think mine's missing a piece, honestly. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to see that magnet or whatever that is in there. But either way, you get that. You get a wristband and a couple other wrist things. You get a little bit of a liquid that comes out of his one gourd, and that gourd is very nicely done, so that's pretty cool. And you get his hat, which has a removable top piece, so he can wear it with the top piece on, he can wear it with the top piece off and his hair poking through, or he can just hang it on his back, whichever way you like. And in order to do that, you also get these wired ropes. Well, one's a rope, it's not wired, and then the other ones are ribbons, I guess, whatever you want to call them. That's for tying things to different accessories and whatnot. I'll show you the insert that came with it so that you get an idea. So you get these, you can tie his drink to his weapon, which I'll show you. You can tie his other drink to his belt, like that, and then you get the rope for his hat also. So that's pretty cool. And then the last 2 things are his big bamboo staff, which is very nicely done, and a wired dragon, which is pretty darn cool, if you ask me. That's a ton of accessories, like way more than any figure I think I've ever reviewed. It's a lot, and so 10 out of 10 for accessories. I don't know what else you could want other than the black-haired version yelling, having an open mouth. I would want that, but I think it's not even fair to ask for that because it's a lot. So you could go 9.9 if you wanted to, but it's a ton of accessories. That's awesome. Another question of the day. How do you guys feel about excessive accessories? I am of the mindset that if you're not getting charged extra for them, if they're just maximizing what they give you, then hey, load it up because it's not going to hurt. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't think you need to spend the budget and raise the price for more accessories. Some companies use accessories as a way to hike up the price because they're really cheap to make comparatively. Other companies use them to maximize value. I think it really depends on that. And given the price points of these guys, which is, it depends where you buy them, but they're like around $100, let's say. Like that's the average. I think you're getting a lot for your money, so I'm not upset about it here. But yeah, that's just a ton of accessories, and they're very nicely done. Okay, so now let's do the articulation, and this is where I run into my first real issue with this guy. Unfortunately, to have the light up feature, he has to have the light thing in there, which is fine. I get that. But in order to get to that, you have to pull off the head, and I could not get the head to come off. Other than disconnecting the ball socket. And they have a thing on here that tells you a little bit about how to do that to make it work. It took me forever. That was a pain in the butt, so that's kind of annoying. But then the other issue is, now that it is off, and I've got the batteries, in which it didn't come with batteries, Illidan did, this guy did not. I had to go get batteries. Luckily, get them from a different part of my house. Luckily, I had them. They are, I believe, AG4, for those of you wondering. You need 2 of them. But anyway, once I got those and got it on, the problem I'm having now is the heads don't seat very well onto this. Like, it doesn't sit into place. These little tabs here, I'll show you. these guys right here, on either side, there's like a little line of tab. That tabs into in here, right there, right in the center of the screen. Anyway, that tabs on, and that's really, really hard to do. I can't get it to seat very well. So it's not a big deal because I'm not like hanging them upside down or anything, but it's kind of annoying. And the other annoying thing is it's a very tiny, here, maybe I can give you an idea. Where's the cup? There you go. Boop. It's a very tiny LED. Like, it's bright and it works, but it's very tiny. So hitting that sweet spot in terms of lining it up with the eyes, kind of a pain in the butt. And I know they're working with small stuff and it's an unnecessary thing that they did. That's awesome. I get it. I'm not complaining that it exists. I'm just letting you know there are flaws, there are problems, irritants, whatever you want to call it. So like right now his head is not fully connected. I'm going to leave it that way because I don't really care that it's not fully connected, but it's hard. I can't get it to seat all the way. It won't work. And I have to make sure it's just at the right depth to get the eyes to work well. So it's kind of a nuisance. The eyes are still awesome, don't get me wrong, but there is some aggravation dealing with that whole situation. The head does pop off while you're handling it if you don't seat it all the way, and I can't get it to seat all the way, so be aware of that. Okay, now as far as the articulation goes, the neck's on a ball peg, moves around pretty nicely, and then this is on a double ball peg. It doesn't move around that much because it's a shorter ball peg, and obviously we have the hair and everything, but it does move around well, all things considered. Moves around really nicely. That's not bad. And then, of course, this rotates because it is removable. So yeah, it works nicely. I will take it. The shoulders. Now, you can technically remove this piece fairly easily, so he would just have the main long sleeve shirt. That is not meant to come off. You would have to disassemble the figure to take that off, but I wouldn't take either of them off. He does have their ball peg that lets the whole shoulder move around, and then you have full-on shoulder range. Ball hinge up there. That's fine. Bicep swivel up here. Double jointed elbows. It is a double, isn't it? Yeah, double jointed elbows. There we go. Very, very nice range there. No problems. And then the wrists. They all have, I think they all have vertical, which is kind of annoying. Let me make sure before I give a critique. Do any of the hands... Yeah, none of them have the vertical hinge. They all have the horizontal hinge. So him using his staff is going to be annoying. That's the thing. Like I said, I'm going to call out the problems where they are. These joints right here for him holding his staff should be down here. Vertical hinge for melee weapons. Always. So that's annoying, but you do get the hinge. For the torso, I'm not 100% sure what's going on in here. It's probably just a double ball peg. It looks like maybe a double ball peg here and a single down here, but he does move around nicely. Let's just get that out of the way. He moves around really well. The soft goods move no problem, and his body has good range. So that's very cool. This piece, pretty floaty. All right, for the hips, you can see his belly. For the hips, well, wasn't expecting that to happen. Okay, for the hips, you have, there we go, a giant ball, which I'm guessing it just popped off. So let's see here. Let's see if it goes back on easily and what kind of issues we have. Okay, yeah, no problem. So it just doesn't, it's not meant to go that far out to the side, but it goes that far. And with the pants on, you could still do it if you wanted. I'm wondering how many parts that this guy shares with the other bears that they've released. Don't know. But yeah, it goes out to the side pretty far. Going forward, you can see they didn't cut the diaper away very far. So limited range in the legs for sure. You'll get some posability out of it if you're creative and clever, but it's pretty limited. Thigh swivel is nice. I'll take that. Double jointed knees. I'm guessing that he is fully sculpted because he reuses some parts, but if not, then that's just awesome that they gave a full sculpt even under clothing, which you can technically remove, so that's cool. Double jointed knees, not the best looking everywhere. You can see kind of a big gap there, but good range. And then for the ankles, not bad. They go back that far. Not the best range going back. Going forward is pretty darn good, which I like. And then your ankle rocker is decent. Toe hinge, functional, not the best looking because of the gap here. So yeah, it's not perfect by any means. Let me see if I can get this back together real quick while we're on camera. Doesn't seem likely. That doesn't usually work when I try to do it, things like this. But we're going to try it, and you guys will see how much of a nuisance it is or not. So far, seems like not. Alright, let's slide that in. Oh, no big deal. Alright, cool. Great. Wonderful. The leg fell off. That's annoying. no real harm done. All right, so articulation, pretty good overall. Like, I think it's definitely going to be enough for a Panda. I don't think you expect him to be the most agile, articulated figure, so I think it's going to be fine. Not perfect, but probably good enough. I'll give it a 7. There's some really nice stuff going on here, but other stuff is just kind of there. Okay, so time for the final verdict on this guy. I love it. I don't have any particular affinity for pandas wearing this kind of attire or anything like that. I'm not a WoW person. I think this is like from the Pandaria expansion. Is that a thing? I think that's what this is based on. Not sure, but it's a damn good figure. The soft goods are executed well, the paints and sculpts are executed well, the articulation is definitely good enough and really good in some places. The accessories are through the roof in terms of execution, in terms of quantity. I love it. My biggest issue is the head situation is annoying and he didn't come with batteries, which is not that unusual, but I just expected it since their other one did. So yeah, very few real issues with this figure. I don't know what the price point is. I'll put it on the screen so that I can be sure I'm giving you guys the right information. I think it's going to be around $100 depending on where you go, and you'll have to look for yourself. I don't think they have them at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know any official channels. Like you guys know about 5K Toys. I don't know if they're on there still or not. I don't know. So I'll put that on there and we'll see. But it's an excellent release, and it should be right around that price point, so I'm not going to be way off in my evaluation. But yeah, really, really good. I'm going to give it an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it is damn good, and I am thrilled to have it in my collection despite having no real connection to the character, or this type of character. I don't know if it's like a named character. I don't think it is in WoW, but either way, it's a wonderful, wonderful action figure. And this company is quickly becoming my favorite, and the fact that they're doing licensed stuff too, watch out, other companies. If these guys keep getting more licenses, that's going to be a real problem for other companies because they're making good stuff. I love it. I can't wait for their licensed stuff. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos just about every single day. And I have thousands of videos already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.